Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Ah, are you the Deborah Jackson? Yeah, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good
Yeah,
evening,
yeah,
sir.
good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, let me see. I want to confirm you can hear me. Yeah, let me rest my back. It's been a long day. Thank you, my people. How are you guys? Funke, are you the Deborah? Are you the Deborah Jackson? Are you
Yes, sir.
now?
I'm using my personal phone, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Yeah, good evening to you, everybody. It's my pleasure to welcome you back here today. Uh, gradually, we are making great progress in our we are making great progress in our journey into the depth of these lessons that we are learning. So it's such a great one. And I want to congratulate all of you who have been a part of this program because blessed are your heirs, for the heir these things. Blessed are you because you know these things, right? And your marriage will be a perpetual beneficiary of these things that you are learning and which God is showing to us together. So I want to welcome you and congratulate you for being a part of this program up until now. I want to congratulate you. We have just about 6 weeks to round up thereabouts. Wow, God has already brought us this far. All praise and glory to His holy name. Um, Let me confirm. Um, I'm not sure. Wisdom, wisdom, are you there? I want to confirm if I've received Wisdom Okafo. Have I received your summary for this week? I can't remember saying it.
Yes, we always send them in.
Okay, no, is it July we are treating or August? It's August. Okay, okay, okay. August. Okay, you
Yeah,
sent in the
yeah,
August picture.
document in.
Oh,
Yes.
you sent it on Wednesday, the day I was doing naming ceremony. Okay. No wonder I didn't see it. Pardon me. Is there the day I was doing, you know, um a naming ceremony? Yeah, that's why I didn't see it. Okay, I'm seeing it now, I'm seeing it now. Awesome, amazing, amazing. Um, okay. Oladiran Areo and his beautiful fiancé, Oladiran
Good evening, sir.
Areo,
Good
and
evening,
his
sir.
beautiful fiancé would also always do what they are supposed to do. I know them. Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening, my brother. I want to confirm.
Yeah.
Oh, have you sent in August?
Um, um, my princess has sent in August. I'll send in mine tonight, sir. Almost done, sir.
Okay. I
Yes, sir.
guess it is August that we are treating
Yes, sir.
tonight. Uh, you know, so it's August we are treating tonight. All right. I want to welcome you all to the August teaching. Now, what we are dealing with for August is two aspects. The aspect of the principle of adoption, uh, in terms of adopting each other's mistakes and errors in marriage, and then the question of domestic chores. Those are the two aspects that we're dealing with. And you see, what we are dealing with tonight is so important, it's so critical, that I want every one of you to please take very important note of it. Along the lifespan of our marriages, there will be a lot of errors, there will be a lot of mistakes, there will be a lot of omissions that will be made by our partner, which will affect our marriage significantly. Now, because the lives of the two parties in marriage are matched, it is not possible for anything to happen to the marriage or to happen to one of you without affecting the other person. Now, in my own observation and through prophetic revelation that I have received by mercy from God, I've noticed that one of the fast destroyers of love in relationship and marriage is the problem of criticism and blame game. Criticism and blame game as a leading cause of turning love into hatred. Because the whole idea of love is that somebody is on your side. Criticism pitches your partner as an opposition to you. Criticism pitches your partner in an opposite position to you, because opposition is opposite position. It places them in a position of judging you, of lashing at you, of putting blame on your table. And when this, when this becomes a culture, or anytime it happens, you would not feel that sense of oneness together with your partner. And certainly, your love for them at that moment will reduce. It will dwindle. Now, if that culture continues, a time comes wherein everybody in the your relationship will begin to look out for each other's faults. We begin to look out for each other's errors. Because when I made my own mistake, you did not spare me. You lashed out at me. You abused me. You put culpability on my table, and you dissociated yourself from that error, from that mistake, and the outcome of it. I bore it alone. So when it's your turn, and you must have done that as if you have no error, you have no fault in life, you are flawless, as if you have no weakness. When you sit to criticize your partner for a mistake they have made, for an error they have made, you are inadvertently holding yourself out as a flawless person, as if you are beyond mistakes. That's the implication. You are holding yourself out as a flawless person, as somebody who is beyond mistake. Because if you believe that you were not beyond mistake, you would have been gracious in your approach. You would have been gentle, knowing that you are also susceptible to the same kind of weakness. But the fact that you did not approach it gently, the fact that you brought out your koboko and lashed out at your partner very, very harshly, is pointing to the fact that you believe that you are beyond flaws. So what then happens when you make your own mistake, when you commit your own error? Your partner will be quick to point it out, and it will pain you. It will pain you. There was a day like that. I was attending the wedding ceremony of one of our LST brethren in Lagos. And, when we were done, I think when we had closed from the wedding ceremony, I was parked somewhere there. I wanted to reverse so that we can get on our journey. And so while I was trying to do that, there was this there was this man that was trying to reverse his car, and then the car fell into a ditch, fell inside the gutter. Eh? Now, come and see the wife. The wife was literally mocking him, even though it's not as if maybe it's not as if it's deliberate, that she just takes pleasure in mocking him. But I just saw her say, and if it were me, you would say I was blind. If it were me, you would say I was blind. You in corner that you have entered into a ditch. I was there hearing her saying it. How did you think the man would have felt? So it meant that at the times when the woman had made mistakes, the man had not adopted it as is. He had lashed out at her. He had said she was blind. Now, he has made the same mistake now. He has made the same error now. The wife was mocking him. Do you think that he would love that woman that day? Do you think he would love that woman that day for mocking him, for making a mistake? But apparently, it is what he has sown that he was now reaping. And there is no one of the fastest ways by which love can become hatred is when you have the culture of blaming each other, of criticizing each other, of putting culpability on each other's table and dissociating yourself from it. It's one of the ways by which your love life can be destroyed. And now the alternative is more in agreement with the principle of marriage. The principle of marriage is the principle of oneness, that you guys are no more two but one. That is what Jesus our Lord said in Matthew chapter 19. Don't you know that he who made them at the beginning made them male and female? Therefore shall a man leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh, and they are no more two but one. So if they are no more two but one, it follows therefore that any error that one person commits is as good as the other person has committed it. Any gain that one person makes is as good as the other person has made it. So we must develop the culture of embracing each other totally, together with our weakness and errors and gains. You know, when your partner makes right decisions and it brings gain and profit to the union, everybody will enjoy it together. Now, when they make their mistakes, when they make their errors, in the same spirit of oneness, everybody should embrace it without trying to say, this is the person who caused it. This is the person who's responsible for this. For you are no more two but one. Now, that's the number one reason. You are no more two but one. That's the number one imperative. For which reason you are supposed to embrace each other's decision making, the outcome of each other's decisions, the outcome of each other's errors, the outcome of each other's mistakes. You must embrace it. You must adopt it as yours. Why? Because you are no more two but one. Now, the second reason is because you yourself, you can make the same errors. You can make the same mistakes. And so, why would you now sit as a judge? Why would you bring out your cane to begin to flog your partner when they made a mistake or error, as if you cannot make the same mistakes? That is the whole point. That is the whole reasoning. And can I tell you that that's the second reason why you must follow this principle, so that it will not your marriage will not be a place where you are counting scores. When you make your own error, your partner flogs you. They are waiting for your turn. When you make your own too, they will mock you, and then you will say 1-1. And then when it's your turn, and then you guys will be counting scores as to how many errors you have made. It would have become a war zone, whereby both of both of you, instead of covering each other's nakedness, you are seeking to expose each other's nakedness. Marriage is supposed to be a place where we cover each other's nakedness. Your partner is supposed to be a safe place. Everybody else criticizes you. When you go to the place of work, you are criticized for many things. On the internet, people criticize you. On the streets, there are so many side talks. Your partner should be a place where you are accepted in the beloved and where you are accepted totally. That is what marriage should be. That's how you will feel free with your partner. Eh? The reason why many people are not open to their partner is because they are afraid of criticism. They are afraid of being judged. They are afraid of being lashed out, lashed on. That's the reason why. So people talk about the fact that they want openness. They want their partner to be open like a book. They want their partner to be transparent. They don't want anything hidden. But if you have a culture of criticism, your partner will not be free to expose their weakness to you. They will not be free to make you see their inadequacies. They will not be free for you to see their weakness if you are fond of weaponizing the weakness that you discover. So marriage then becomes a place again where people are hiding. Marriage becomes a place where people are careful. Marriage becomes a place where people are hypocrites. Marriage becomes a place where people are walking on eggshells because the person who's supposed to be their best friend, who's supposed to accept them totally, who's supposed to cover their nakedness, who's supposed to compliment them, has now become a weapon fashioned against them. Then it makes marriage an unsafe place, a place where somebody is not emotionally safe, a place where people are not naked. You know, in the beginning, the Bible made us to understand that the man and his wife, they were naked and they were not ashamed. That is what marriage, if it is following the pattern of the Genesis 2, that's what it should be. It's supposed to be a place where people are naked and not ashamed. But can I tell you, if you have the culture of criticizing, if you have the culture of, judging, if you have the culture of, highlighting the weaknesses or errors of your partner, they will never be free to be naked with you. I'm not talking about physical nakedness now. I'm talking about nakedness in terms of being open to you, being transparent to you as a book. You'll be dealing with somebody who has a lot of secrets that they can't share with you. And that's not marriage. That's not the correct marriage. You have somebody that is not free with you, that is trying to protect their vulnerability. And it will affect your intimacy. It will show in your intimacy. When the two of you are not free to be vulnerable with each other without being judged, without being lashed on, it will affect the level of your intimacy. Because it takes vulnerability for intimacy to take place. It takes vulnerability for intimacy to take place. So I want you to ask yourself that important question. What culture do you have in your relationship? What culture? Is it this culture of adoption? So whatever it is, as from today, I think you should have an understanding that this is the way you should go. This is the way an ideal Christian marriage should be. It should be a place where your partner is safe, a place where your partner is free to be themselves, a place where your partner is transparent, a place where every other person outside may judge your partner's weakness, may criticize and lash out at her or him. But marriage should be a place wherein your partner knows that you are there to compliment her. You are not happy to highlight our weaknesses. Now, we're not saying that if those weaknesses can be improved upon, that you should leave them unimproved. But while you are improving upon it, you are doing it with the attitude of somebody who recognizes those weaknesses as his own or as our own. Do you see the difference? Now, let me make this analogy, and I think I did that in one of the write-up. When you are in the toilet and you are defecating, does your faces, does it smell? Does it smell when you are defecating in the toilet? Certainly it smells. I realize that the excrete of fine girls even smells more badly. You see, and when they release fat, oh my God, fine girl no reach that level. Now, but do you notice that there is when you are seated inside the toilet, when you are defecating, do you know that you are always very comfortable? You can even be pressing your phone. You will not, Funke, why should I stop it? Are you guilty? Your own will smell more. I suspect so. Yours will smell worse. It's likely to smell worse. Tell all those girls that are yellow in color. Anyway, let me leave that. So, but do you know that when you are inside the toilet and you are defecating, do you know that you hardly smell your own? You will smell it, but you hardly feel uncomfortable. You hardly feel uncomfortable. And when you want to flush the toilet of your own excrete, you see, you don't feel irritated, isn't it? You carry the water. If you are not using a water closet, if you are pouring water, you carry it and you pour it with pride. But if it is your partner, if it is another person that is defecating, yeah, if it's another person that is defecating, you'll be saying, no, yeah, please close the door, close the door, close the door, close the door. And then if they ask you to come and flush another person's face, excrete, I don't know, faces, they ask you to come and flush another person's face. I'm sure you know the way you will squeeze your nose and squeeze your mouth and squeeze your face to do it, because there's something conscious in you that is not yours. Now, when you want to work on the weakness of your partner as a Christian couple, and you see those weaknesses as yours, you will treat them the way you treat your personal faces. You will do it with pride, you will do it with joy. You will not do it with a critical approach. You will do it with love. Are we there? Are we there now? So God is not teaching us that we should not help each other to grow out of our weaknesses. No. What God is teaching us is that because we are one, our approach to helping our partner grow out of their weakness must be gentle, must be loving. And it has to be, it can be firm, but gentle and loving. And we must do it with the mindset that we are in it. We must not do it with the approach that it is our partner's problem. We must recognize that our partner is an extension of us. And so whatever weakness is in their life is our weakness. And it is our weakness to fix. It's not their weakness. It's not their problem. It is our weakness, our problem. And we then approach it from that platform of acceptance, first of all. Then, if we are doing it from the platform of acceptance and recognition that we are one, it will influence the gentleness and the loving kindness with which we will attempt to fix those weaknesses. You are not sent into the life of your partner to go and be putting their weaknesses before their faces and be criticizing them about it and be flogging them about it. The Bible says every weapon fashioned against me shall prosper. Now, like I said the other time, you will make yourself to fit into that prayer, because you will now be in a position of an enemy to your partner. It's only enemies that highlight your weaknesses. It's only enemies that criticize you until you lose your self-esteem. It's only witches that do that. And that is not one of your missions in the life of your partner. In short, some of those weaknesses are there so that you can fix it. So don't talk too much about it. Get to work. If you are really doing the fixing, you will talk less. You will pray more and talk less. Many of us talk about weaknesses in the life of our partners that we have never raised in the place of prayer. And You know, one of the ministries that our Lord Jesus Christ carried out towards the church is that the Bible made us to know in John chapter 17 that Jesus was praying for the church and he said, Lord, sanctify them by your truth. Your word is truth. Sanctify them. In the same way, every man, male man, standing in the place of Jesus must take their wives to the place of prayer constantly and intercede for their wives and say, Lord, sanctify my wife by your truth. And I think vice versa is correct too. You have no moral basis criticizing something you have not prayed about in the life of your partner. You have no moral basis. Not at all. Are we together now? So this is the issue. This is the issue. So from day one, I want you to learn to set a culture of adoption in your relationship. And I'm sure you saw some of the stories that I shared. The story of how water entered our bedroom. How many of you read that story? You know, how many of you read that story? Yeah, Wisdom, you read it. The story you did peace, great. The story of how water entered our bedroom. These were some of our early opportunities to put this principle to test. You saw the story of the many times that our food got burnt. Food got burnt. You know, yeah, you saw the different examples. And now that my wife was even already shaking or was already shaking, thinking that I'll bring out my koboko, but I never did. I never did. I never talked about it because I recognize that I myself can make that error, can make that mistake. So, you know, and thank God I did not flog her when it was her turn. Because when it was my own turn, I slept off behind the steering and I nearly killed pedestrians. I'm sure you remember the story, the ghastly motor accident. I narrated the story when it was my turn. Me, a old driver of 15 years, as at that time, I've been driving since the year 2005. Was when I've been driving. Year 2005. And I have never made such a mistake. So there are even mistakes you have not made yet, but you will still make later on. Don't be too sure and begin to boast yourself. Don't be too sure and begin to boast yourself and say, how can you make such a mistake? How can you make such a mistake? My friend, shut up. Even you too, you can make that mistake. You are proud. You are not infallible yourself. So be gracious. Be gracious. Yeah? So I slept off behind the steering. The AC just entered my head that day. I can't explain it. Stress plus AC. It was the loud bang of the vehicle that woke me up. I just had yes, and I woke up. When I woke up, I'd hit a vehicle by the roadside on the right, damaged the vehicle, and then I suddenly saw people gather around my car. Eh? I could not believe it. Eh? Am I the one they are gathering to see? Hey, and everybody they were knocking on my windscreen, my side windscreen, side screen. What do you call it? You know, the side glass. They were knocking because you know AC was on. My AC was still on, so the everything was wound up. They were knocking, so I had to wind down, and they looked at me and said, "What happened? What happened?" And nearly killed pedestrians. Only God saved me that day. And I was too ashamed to even tell all the people that were saying what happened to tell them that I slept off behind the steering. Ah, even me, I felt humiliated. But that's to tell us that only God cannot make mistakes. We are all frail. Even if it is something you have been doing again and again and again and again, and it appears that you have already perfected your act, it doesn't mean that you can still make a mistake tomorrow. I mean, 15 years of driving, I have never experienced that before. And over 300,000 of family finance was going into that. So imagine that I had a culture of criticizing my wife for her own errors and mistakes. That would have been an opportunity to now bring out our own kobuku and flog me thoroughly. And under that kind of atmosphere, it only breeds hatred. Now, love cannot thrive. It will only make me hate her. Because there is one of the episodes where I said a bruised reed Jesus will not break. That's a statement about our Lord Jesus Christ. A bruised reed he will not break, and a smoking flax he will not quench. And I was explaining what that means. At that moment when your partner has made such grave errors like the one I described now, they're already bruised. You don't need to tell them that they are fucked up. They know they fucked up. You don't need to tell them. They know. They know they are fucked up. There are some errors and mistakes that are so glaring like that. They know they are fucked up. You don't need to tell them. They know it. They're already internally bleeding. They are crying. They are humiliated on their inside. They're already a bruised reed. There's no need for you to break them further with your tongue. There's no need. When you do that, you will only earn hatred for yourself. Yeah. You will only earn hatred for yourself. But if you are that partner, instead of breaking them further, you accepted them. You further console them. And you told them how the matter will be fixed, that they should not worry. And you tell them that you love them all the same, and you're happy to be married to them. That person will love you forever. That act of adopting their error and not criticizing them for it, but rather being a covering, it will end for you great quantum of love, many Congos of love, which will further enhance the health of your relationship. Are we there now? So this is the point. So you saw these examples. So a bruised reed, you must not break. Eh? A bruised reed, you must not break. Are we together now? A bruised reed, you must not break. All right? A bruised reed, you must not break. It's a very important principle, which is very critical for the enhancement of marriage. Praise God. Are you blessed to this point? Is this principle very, very clear to you all? Is it very, very clear to you all? Please take note of it. It's very important. All through marriage, there will be many, many mistakes that will be made. Yes. After that time, when I said I had a ghastly motor accident, there's another major, major mistake that I've made. Major one. And this time it was in business. I trusted a guy and partner with him in business. I was the one, it was my business which I run. My wife doesn't run it with me. So I made the judgment without necessarily consulting her, because I don't necessarily have to consult her in all my business decisions. But I just felt that I know the guy sufficiently, and we've done some business together in the past. And I guess I didn't investigate his present. I was dwelling on the past that we had shared. But some people will tell you that one of the best way to prognosticate future behavior is by looking at past behavior. Maybe that was the principle I followed. I just believed that the guy was true, was genuine. And I put a lot of money into his hand that didn't even belong to me. Over 100 million naira. 100 million naira. You had me right. Over 100 million naira. The guy ran away with the money. You can imagine the kind of, when the owners of the money, it's only higher killers they were not ready to send. Yes. And the family came under immense pressure. Immense pressure. You know the meaning of 100 million? You guys don't know what 100 million means. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know. Let me not assume. Some of you may know, but maybe you don't know. Maybe some don't know what 100 million is. This is money that people have sold their properties to be able to get that money out. They have taken loans, and money is scarce. Money is scarce. So when people's money get lost, people lose restraint. They fight dirty. And you can't blame them because money is hard to come by. People fight dirty when it comes to. In short, when we're going through that issue, some of you may have, maybe you know about it, I guess. Well, this matter I'm telling you, it was on newspaper. Yes, it was on newspaper. It was on newspaper. So, in short, outsiders were afraid for my marriage. They were afraid. They were so afraid for my marriage. Because especially when the news, I was even the one that took the matter to press because I wanted to put more pressure on the guy. But when the reporting came out, those who did the reporting, they now made it look like I am a co-conspirator with him. And on the pages of Punch newspaper, they put my picture beside that of the fraudster. Come and see. All over the internet. Yeah, that's what happened. Even though I was the one that actually commissioned them to report that news. I was the one. And I wanted to put pressure on the guy so that I can refund all the money he has stolen. But when they did the reporting, they didn't do it well. They put my picture by his picture, and it was on front page of Punch newspaper. As immediately Punch reported it, as Star Reporters copied it, Naira Land copied it. Yeah, that's it now. That's it. But the point I'm making is that at that moment, you can imagine the kind of pressure. In short, external people, like I said, they were afraid. They were afraid for my marriage, but in reality, my marriage was going well at that time because of this principle that we have learned. You can imagine, because all of this crisis, even though I made the decision alone, do you think my wife did not go through it with me? Do you think? At the early stage when it appeared, that guy has run away with our money, when it appeared that the guy had run away with our money and we were calling him, he was not picking calls. When we sleep on the bed, sometimes my wife would just breathe. And say, Suddenly in the midnight, I will look at her and say, baby, take it easy. Baby, take it easy. Baby, take it easy. Because in marriage, your lives are merged. If your husband goes down, you go down with him. If EFCC came to arrest me, maybe some people reported that, they believe I'm the one that swindled them or something. Will she feel it or not? Because I'm a love. I'm our best love. And our lives are merged. So, and it can be vice versa. So the other party will feel it. But because we have learned of this principle, there was no day all through that crisis when my wife looked at me and said, you are the one that has put us into this trouble. In reality, I put us into the trouble because I made the decision. But thank God we have learned this principle. Because that is enough to disintegrate marriage. There were older women in our alumni fellowship. I'm the coordinator of one old alumni fellowship, Ibadan chapter. And we have elderly people in their 60s, in their 50s, in their 70s. I'm the coordinator, at the moment. All of them, they called me for a meeting when that news was reported. They called me for a meeting and they were like, brother, what we're even more concerned about is your wife and your marriage. I told them, I said, In short, let me tell you one secret. Around that time, me and my wife, we were having more sex. We're having more sex around that period. And you know why? Because sex is an antidepressant. I told you. Have I told you that much? Okay, I've not told you. Okay. When we get to the talk on sex, I will tell you more on this. Sex, one of the ministry of sex is anti-depression. So at the moments when you have tendency for depression, if you and your partner, you are at peace with each other and you are locking your bodies together, you will be in high spirit. You will not be in depression. So me and my wife, we were having more sex at that time because we are all that we have. She's all that I had. I was all that she had. Yes, other people outside can sympathize. They can, communicate their condolences or sympathy or whatever. But my wife is the one that is with me in it. My wife is the one I had. So we were always lucky. So we had no issue in our marriage. The problem was external. That prayer did not penetrate our bedroom. It didn't. And thank God we had known this principle and we were practicing it. In your own journey, you don't know the challenges that are ahead of you. Even we have done all the few stories I've shared now. We are going to be 4 years in marriage in July, in 2 months. Now, that's 4 years. What about the next 36 years? Don't forget, we are still going to do 40 years anniversary. Can you imagine the number of challenges that may be on the way? Now, are you saying that in the next 36 years, I will never make any error? Every of my decisions will be perfect on my judgment. Are we saying she cannot make an error in 36 years? If we have made this many errors in 4 years, we are not planning to repeat classes, though. We are taking lessons from our mistakes. However, mistakes and errors can come from other angles. It may come from the angle of the kitchen. It's a very wide space. It can come from, it may not be financial anymore. It may not be a business error. It can be error in any other thing that affects everybody. So thank God we had known this principle before this time. That crisis would have collapsed our marriage. I'm telling you. If my wife had mistakenly looked at me one of the days and say, "You are the one that has brought us this error. Is it not because you lack discretion?" Imagine that she said that to me. Aya. Aya. The boat would have been wrecked. Because you can imagine, I was already a bruised reed. That how did I judge? I was even asking, what happened? What happened? How did I make such an error? How did I, And then sometimes I'm like, why didn't the Holy Spirit even tell me? What happened? I'm walking with him in truth and righteousness. I'm in touch with him. So all through the period my prayer altar was alive. Why didn't the Holy Spirit even tell me that there was such a problem like that? A lot of unanswered questions already going on. And a lot of people outside blaming you. Now, the last person that you should expect to blame you is your spouse. If she joins them, then she's now your opposition. I hope you know that. Ruling party and opposition party. It means that she has joined the opposition party. And then the love between the two of you will collapse. But all through that challenge, all through the crisis, by the grace of God, my wife was solidly behind me. Yes, there were times when she felt overwhelmed, but one thing she didn't do is to blame me. Do you get what I'm saying now? To feel overwhelmed is possible. Feel overwhelmed, feel that this crisis, I'm the one that is always doing the calming, and don't worry. What's the worst case scenario? When all the people began to threaten police, they began to send invitation letter from police stations. You know the number of police installations where I went to as a suspect. I had to tell my wife and say, lady, so I had to educate her and tell her what's the worst case scenario. And thank God I'm a lawyer, so what's the worst case scenario? And all the necessary legal steps, are taking them. So I explained to her this to calm her down. This is what I've taken, this is what I've done, this is what I've done. If you are not a lawyer, then you should have a lawyer when you have a legal problem. If you are not a doctor, you should have a doctor when you have a medical problem. That's wisdom. You must have expert advice. It's not enough that you're praying. You must have, because some of the steps that I took then because I was a lawyer was what defended me. There are many people who don't have as a big crisis as I am now. They are in prison now. In prison now. That they are still doing their trial. Some of them, they didn't give them bail. And those who were even given bail, a lot has gone wrong. Are you with me now? So, but that is not the point I'm making. The real point I'm making is that, yes, being overwhelmed can happen. And when your partner is overwhelmed, it is your duty to encourage, to lift them up. But one thing that didn't happen was that there was never a time when my wife looked at me and blamed me for all that had happened. Blamed me. No, she didn't do that. To her credit, she didn't do that. And it's because we have learned this principle. I've learned this principle. So many marriages will go through that same crisis and they will not survive it. I'll tell you the truth. Like I said, I want to say again, those who are elderly and experienced in marriage, they rushed at us out of fear because they know that kind of crisis has potential to cripple a marriage. It has potential to cripple a marriage. Only that, by the grace of God, our own marriage has collected immunization. Had collected Abere Ajesara. You understand? We had, and that's why I tell you that all these things that we are teaching you, you may not need it now. It doesn't have to be that you need it now. But all we are teaching you, they are principles that if you follow them, it will be useful for 40, 50 years of marriage, all through your marriage. All these principles will never be outdated. They will never be outdated. That's why we're laboring. There are many courtship programs that are just 2 weeks. Why is our own 6 months? Because we want to give you principles that will carry you all through the journey. Principles that will carry you all through the journey. All right, that is that about that. Then, so we went on to now talk about, so that's that about the issue of adoption. Then the next angle through which quarrel can come into your marriage is the question of domestic duties. How many of you read all the episodes on domestic duty, cooking, food getting ready? Oh, you can't see my face again? Is that true? You can't see my face again, all of you? Sorry, can you still see my face? Okay, some people can see my face. Okay, so that means that person, you should fix your stuff.
I can still see your face, too, son.
You can see my face. All right. Thank you very much. So the other angle is the domestic front. How many of you read the articles, the episodes on our domestic quarrels? The quarrels we began to have regarding food, cooking, food getting ready at the right time, all of that. Yeah. And that is another major aspect where there's a lot of quarrel. And you can't experience that in courtship because you are not yet living together. You are not yet living together. So in courtship, you may never have that kind of experience. But when you enter marriage, there are certain extra duties that will now become a reality. For example, the duty of a woman cooking food, In the case of my wife, and for many, many ladies, it takes time for them to adjust to the new reality. Yes, it takes time. When they were single, many times they don't They may come back from work tired and decide that they want to go and sleep, and decide that they are not cooking that night. They just drink gari and go and sleep. But when you enter marriage, cooking becomes a duty, not an hobby. It doesn't matter whether you like to cook or not. It becomes something that you have to do. Are we together now? So how then there are other domestic chores apart from cooking, cleaning, going to fill the gas, taking care of the compound. Oh, wisdom, that one made you laugh. When my wife said, I know why you're in the kitchen. And I say, can't I help my wife? You know, so cleaning, refilling the gas. That and one thing about domestic chores is that it is endless. It is an everyday thing. So number one, we emphasized how to undo that season of adjustment, how to handle it with love and acceptance. I told you many times in the story how I had to suppress my anger and go and buy food outside and resist the temptation of buying my own alone. Just keeping with the principle of being like Jesus. Because if I just buy my own alone, then it will mean I'm retaliating and then I'm not walking in love. So I shared some of those stories when I come back. And at that time, my wife was not yet working, but she was just adjusting. She had not yet gotten used to this new phase, wherein it was now a duty for her to cook for me and ensure that food was ready from time to time. And that can cause a lot of crisis. Then we spoke about the fact that the man should see himself as the vice president teaching affairs and then get involved, participate in domestic duties. Because at the beginning of your marriage, it's just the two of you. Nobody may be living with you yet. You may not have a house help or anything like that at the beginning of your marriage. So if it is just the two of you, can you still see my face? Are you still seeing my face?
Yes, we can still see. I can still see.
And you can hear me clearly too. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you. So at the beginning of your marriage, it's just the two of you. So the man should see himself as, even though the woman biblically is the president domestic affairs, and I show you the scripture that established that, in Titus chapter 2, right? And the Bible called women keepers at home, because I hear sometimes women say, where is it written in the Bible that they should cook? Is in the Bible. The Bible called you keepers at home. So it's in conformity with the Bible that the woman should be the president domestic affairs. But the man is the vice president. Yes. The man should see himself as the vice president and be involved. Join your wife in cooking, especially when you are doing bulk cooking. The work can be so overwhelming for a woman if you are not involved. It can be so overwhelming for her. Make yourself domesticated. Go and learn how to cook. I don't do cooking again now because we now have people, we now have people living with us and who do a lot of the kitchen work. So it's been some time, quite a long time. Maybe more than 2 years now. Maybe around 2 years, that I cooked last. But because we now have helpers who are doing that, who are actively doing that. But before then, the first 2 years of our marriage, I was fully domesticated. I want to cook for 2 months, 2 weeks. We usually cook for 2 weeks or 1 month at once. We'll go to the market together, or sometimes I will go to the market and bring in the food and cook. I cook egusi, I cook vegetable, I cook okra, alasekpo, and I'll cook stew with assorted fishes and meats and dish them in the freezer and keep them there. I used to do that. So I do all of this keep them in the freezer. And times wherein she's needing to do it, I join her so that we do it together, because the work can be overwhelming. Now, the challenge is now that if your wife is always expending all her energy, if she's expending all her energy in the kitchen, the challenge with that is that she will not even be available for the bedroom ministry, which is far, far more important to marriage than the stomach infrastructure. So that's why you need to be involved. And I encourage that husbands should I encourage that husbands should do their best, both of you, as a plan for your marriage, to invest in infrastructure that will support your wife in the kitchen and make her work easier. Invest in infrastructure. While we were planning to marry, that was a time wherein we bought our washing machine to reduce our stress of washing. And then I even totally outsource my dry cleaning. I'm not saying all of you have the capacity to do that. It's a lot of money. So, but if you don't have the capacity, a washing machine can help. And if your hands are available, you can take on that as a man and do the laundry for your family. If her hands are busy in other things, can do that. So, washing machine, we bought a generator and freezer. These are the things we invested in before we married. Even though we bought the freezer fairly used, who cares? It was working well. That freezer is still working very well now, even though we've gotten newer ones, brand new ones, because you will not always be at the same stage in marriage. You will grow, even in your finances, you will grow. But start where you are. Do what you can afford. If you can afford a brand new one, go and get a fairly used. There are many fairly used ones that are good. Some of those fairly used, it was actually brand new, only that the person who owned it wanted to relocate abroad or move to another city. So some of them are good, they're in good condition, and you buy them cheap. Buy them and support your wife. Apart from your own physical support, let this infrastructure be there for her, to help her, to make her work easier. So if you have freezers and you have the grace to buy food in bulk and you cook in bulk, in those early stages of our marriage, when my wife enters the kitchen, in 20 minutes she's out. But she only needs to bring out the food from the freezer, defrost it at that time. At that early stage, we didn't have a microwave. So she would defrost it in water, and then she makes either a swallow or rice, and in 25 minutes, if it is swallow, in 20 minutes she's done. The food, she will warm it, because the food, she's not cooking new soup every day. It's very, very laborious when a woman has to cook new soup every day and she's still a working class, not a full housewife. It's very laborious, and it will be making her fagged out, and you won't get her best in the other room. And the ministry of the other room, you can't outsource it. Even though sometimes you can outsource cooking. At another stage in our marriage, what we're doing was to outsource cooking. When I was no longer, my hands were already so busy that I didn't have time to be doing all this bulk cooking anymore, and I still didn't want her to be stressed. And at that time, there was, okay, no, I didn't want her to be stressed, and I was no longer available. So what we simply did was to outsource it, because we could afford it at that time. So we get a caterer, come to the house and do all the cooking. The caterer will sleep overnight and do all the cooking. We pay her, and she goes. I know I cannot eat the food that another woman cooked. It has to be my wife. It has to be I want to be eating the food from my hand like this. From my hand, like, sit down there. By the time you overuse her and she becomes old at 30, however you use your wife, you will meet her like that. Like my discipler, we always say women are like clothes. It's however you use them that you meet them. Yeah. What is your problem when you want to eat from her hand? It has to be her food. What's your problem? There are many people that can even cook better than your wife. Let them come and do the cooking. Because they are doing the cooking as a business every day. Let them do the cooking, everybody will eat. What is the matter? If your wife is very productive, you will not care if she's bringing in good money every month. You don't worry yourself. Let her use money to block your mouth. Use her money to block your mouth. My friend, all those things are not so important. Let somebody come and do it. You know, let somebody come and do it. So that's it. There's nothing difficult about it. Okay, so that was what we're doing. Now, before we now add some people living with us fully, so you know, yeah. So please do all you can. It is in phases, so don't rush. Don't put yourself under pressure. Whatever you can do. If at the early stage of marriage, what you can afford is just you being involved, helping, and all. Please do that. Now, I want to warn women. The fact that we have said that men should be involved does not mean that you should now be dragging them into every detail of domestic affair, or now be talking to them in a very harsh way. I also spoke about this in the episodes, that one of the reasons why many men are afraid to be involved is because they feel that their wife will not take them for granted after some time. And I know of a couple that, whenever the wife wakes up early in the morning, even though the chores are things she can undo on her own, she will deliberately go and wake up the husband and say, how can she be cooking and the husband is sleeping? Then it will never happen. It will never happen. Now you two must rise up. It's not necessary. That's taking it to the extreme. That's taking it to the extreme. So, and whenever you think that you need help and your husband is not taking the initiative, you can bring him into it, but the way you say it matters. You know, one wise way by which my wife used to do it in those days, anytime she feels that she needs help, and me, I'm not aware that she needs help, you know, and what she would do while I'm seated in those times when I used to watch Politics Today every night. I'm so busy these days, I don't even have time for it for a while. But anytime I sit down and I'm watching my political analysis, my wife she would have prepared the pepper. She wants me to grate pepper. I prepared it inside water and bowl. Do you understand? So she would just bring it and put it in my front. And we'll still be chatting with me and say, hey, is that wicked? Wicked. Is it wicked? Oh, is that Akpabio? No, this is not Akpabio. This one is Oshiomole. But she's talking with me, but she has placed the pepper in my front. The pepper and the water and the grater. Is the message not clear? Okay, make una dey grate the pepper as you are watching this your politics today. Oh, what happens to say, oh baby, could you help with grating the pepper? Couch your request like a question. Don't say, oh God, somebody will be slaving, somebody will be watching television. Who is a slave in this house? Biggie. Have you forgotten what Pastor Penny taught us? Forgetfulness. You are just folding your arms, folding your leg, doing nothing, and then you will be shouting, where's my food? Where's my food? Where's my food? Where's your food? Come and carry your food on my head. You have failed if you speak that way. If you speak that way, you have failed. Failed. You failed if you speak that way. And you will see that your man will resist you if you communicate that way. He will resist you. He will resist you. Talk to him that way. That's not the right way. You are still the president, all right? You are still the president. So what happens? Oh, baby, could you please help me make the amala while I cook the vegetable, my love? Why is that some of you don't have manners? You don't have. Talking well is not difficult now. Not difficult. It's not difficult to talk well. Learn how to talk to your husband. The reason why many of you don't get the best from your husband or your fiancé as the case, because you don't know how to talk. If you talk, if you speak to a man respectfully, you don't have to speak Abba, Abba. Do it, it will stand up. Will stand up. Eh, feminists will say, why will you say that could you help? Who is he helping? Is it not our joint responsibility? Is it not our joint responsibility? And then when you give back to children, that's also part of domestic chores. Eh? Like now, I'm already babysitting. For the first 72 hours, I could not sleep. Though I will soon release the video of me and my daughter when I was singing for her and she was looking at my face. I've composed a song for her that I will soon go and release in the studio. I bet it with you will play that song for your own daughter and sons to rock them to sleep. Eh, I bet it with you. I will soon release the video, you'll see it. But even in that, you want your husband to carry the baby. And sweetheart, your girl has already missed you. She wants you to carry her. Look at her. She wants you to carry her. Oh, yeah. I'll carry your load. Not that, am I the only one that gave birth to this baby? Why must it be only me that will be taking care of the baby? Why must it be only me? Why will you abandon me? When you were shifting pants, you didn't know. Now baby has come. You are running away from responsibility. Irresponsible man. Talk the right way, and you'll get the right response. Have I given you the secret code, ladies? Are you here? Are you with me? Couch your request. Catch your request in form of a question. Could you please? Would you want to? Could you please? Would you want to? Do you think you would want to help me to do this? That's the way to do it. That's the way to talk to a man. You couch your request in an indirect way. He will feel honored. Baby, would you think that you want to help me, wash some of my underwears? No. If the guy is a man like me, he's going to be excited because I one of my favorite stuff is to wash underwears. Hallelujah. My wife's underwear. I love it. Even if I'm tired, I will not be tired again. Praise God. I love washing underwears. It's my favorite. I can't wash gowns and wash skirts. What's my business with skirts and gowns? But give me underwears. Yeah, great job. Good job there. I have special anointing for it. And about 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, my wife was saying, she can't bend yet because, after she doesn't. I said, who is going to wash my undies? I said, what kind of announcement is that when I'm still alive? My friend, bring everything. It's my favorite. It's my favorite stuff. Do you see that? It's my favorite stuff, man. Bring the undies, let me wash them away. I have a calling for it. Okay. Don't go and start washing undies yet, though, so that your prick will not be rising unduly. Although it's a matter of the mind. Though. I just remembered now that those days when my wife visits me, she'll pack my clothes and then let me remember. Let me not go and say what is not true. I remember again. She used to wash my clothes. I don't know whether I used to wash my box. I can't remember. But it's not a big deal if your mind is clean, my dear. Watch the thing. What is it? Is it not your fiancé? Well, you are not under compulsion to do it. And I think when she used to visit me, then she would clean the house before she goes and take care of my clothes and wash them. These are the things my wife used to do. I used to feel loved. And, oh, this girl is scary. She's a wife material. You are not under compulsion, all right? You're not, but like I used to say, some people say, you don't go to the, don't cook for him, and you are not yet, you are not under compulsion. But as best friends, we can help each other. We can help each other. I already had a home that I was managing at that time, so whenever my wife visited, and she sees that at that time I was living with my best friend, male. We were living together. We had a flat, and we guys, and God will help us. So many of us don't believe in washing plates one by one. How will you be washing plate one by one? Why not finish all the plates, use everything, and wash it at once? That's the way we guys look at it. So whenever she comes, she will see our plate gegere inside the sink. She will wash our plate. We had the guys have time to be sweeping the floor every day. We don't sweep it every day now. That's the truth. And we had a big flat. We feel it's not yet dirty. Why must you be sweeping it every day? It is when it is dirty that you should sweep it. There's no time to check time. So when she comes, she will mop everywhere. There was even a time when in herself and my friend's fiancé, both of them came at the same time. They were just abusing us left, right, and center. I said, see the way you guys use the house. Oh God, if you want to help us, help us. Don't, if you want to help us, help us. Why must you abuse us? Because you want to help us. You have already collected your Thanksgiving already. So so at that time there was one debate going on online then, So whenever, so usually at that time my wife was living with her sister, but we do attend my church together. So whenever we leave my church, we come to my house because that was the only time we really had together in the week. That's the only time we spent together. So whenever she comes to my house, then she does the cooking. She cooks for me for that afternoon and all of that. Because at those times, many times I would even be writing LST. I was already running LST there. So the man because there is this Friday evening articles I used to release. I just stopped since January when I started running this program. I've not had time to be doing it on Sundays because of you guys. So many of my single people that are not here are complaining. They've not been hearing me. They've not been seeing articles. All right, we'll resume back after June. So, but what am I saying? So sometimes I'm even writing LST and she will be cooking. So there was this debate we had one. There was one day that we came from church and I think she didn't cook that day. I think I was working on LST and all of that. So, and maybe I just came out and realized that there is no food. And I'm like, why is there no food? And then she's like, and so is it my duty? Is it my duty? It's not your duty. I'm not saying it's your duty, but you are helping me with it. Is it also my duty to already be paying your school fees? Already be giving you pocket money whenever you don't have money to send it to you? I'm also not yet married to you now. Yes. I'm also not yet married to you, but I'm already showing you how I will be a father to you when we marry. There's nothing wrong in you already showing me how you'll be a wife to me. There's nothing wrong. That argument reset our head that day. I said, is it my duty? Is it my duty? But anytime you don't have money, I run a task to get you money. Even when you want to pay this fee, you want to pay this one, you want to do this one, I run a task to put the money down. Is it my duty? I'm not your father, and I've not yet married you, but I'm doing all of that. So suddenly, it's not your duty to cook. I'm not saying it's a duty, but friends, when you're already in relationship, in courtship, you help each other. That's just it. It's not a duty yet, but we do it anyway to demonstrate our sense of responsibility. Are we there now? Yes. You say is the money always available? Yes. If I don't have the money, and my fiancé is in need, will I look away as a responsible fiancé? As a responsible husband to be? She knows I will never look away. I will never look away. Even if I don't have the money, I'm going to seek means to get the money. I don't understand that, Josephine. What are you saying? You're just saying no. What are you saying? Maybe you are mute. Let me hear you. When do you they talk? And God was providing the money, no doubt. But God was using a vessel, isn't it? The money was not dropping from the sky. My mic is not clear. Hello? Is my mic not clear again? It's very clear now. So maybe it's your network or mic.
Very
Yeah.
clear.
Yes.
Very clear.
It's not our duty to cook, but it's my duty to provide. It's my duty to be responsible. It's not the duty of any of us. Yeah, it's not yet any of our duties, but we do it because courtship is a preparation for marriage. And essentially, the relationship we share is that of best friends. Do you understand? So the reason why, if she was in need, the reason why I would not look away was because she was already my best friend. She was already my best friend. So I won't look away when she's in need. I go extra mile. I stretch myself to ensure that she's well taken care of. Because long before we married, she was already living beyond the level of our mates now. Yes. Because she had a man that was supplementing from the time when, before she even left school, I would send her monthly allowance. And I will send the same amount that her parents will send to her. I will double it. Was it my duty? It's not my duty now. So there's not, so that's bragging. Oh, well, yeah. You to brag, you to do well and brag. It's not very, I'm just telling you the truth. Yes, I was a sugar daddy. Yes. And yes, let me brag a little more. The second, during our IT, was it 400 level IT? I bought a imported skincare products. At that time, it was 25,000, but you don't understand. Now, the value of that skincare product now is about 150 to 200K. That's how much they sell it now in today's Naira. No, I think no. The skincare product was 27,000 then. 27,000 Naira. You know what I'm talking about? And I carried it all the way to Ikotu and delivered it to her. When she got back to school, all her mates were like, where did you see this from? Where did you see this from? She was glowing. Was it my responsibility? It's not my responsibility. But as love will make you do these things. So if you see that your fiancé's home is disorganized as a lady because it's busy, it's chasing all manner of deals, what is wrong? Of course, I believe that you all have subscribed to the doctrine of sexual purity. So that's why I speak like this. You are convinced about sexual purity. So it's not as if it is only when you are having distant relationship that you can keep yourself pure. The real test of your capacity and conviction of sexual purity is that even if you are proximate to each other, you are able to maintain discipline. That's the real, if you are deeply convinced about it. Anyway, are you telling me that you guys don't visit each other's houses? You're telling me you don't visit each other's houses? You still say, I don't know. I know. So when you go there and you see that things are disorganized, arrange them, help, support, clean the place. There's nothing wrong with that. Because you are in a defined relationship. It's not all those small girls in university that are in 100 level and they're already doing cooler ministry. I'm not talking about it. You guys are already caught up to marriage. You are serious minded, you are adults. You see that? All right, at this juncture, I hope you've gotten value for your time tonight. I hope it's been interesting. I hope it's been fun. All right. I hope you're blessed. Yeah. All right. So if that is the case, then I want to thank you for listening. And it is now my pleasure to open the floor for questions and contributions and clarifications. If there is something that I've said that you're wondering, who, what is this man saying? The floor is now open for us to take all these things. Right? The floor is now open. Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you for your love. I love you too. Thank you. Yeah. Ah, Joy Okikiade, I don't know that you can be this funny. Oh. I guess tonight my funny approach has brought out all the funniness in you. I see your comment. Afuni wa ma wo be mi nìyẹn ṣégan bàbá mi ṣégan bàbá mi èmi nìyẹn mi nìyẹn. Yes, so that's where she's going. Okay, yeah, Miss Sister, but we have those that think you are okay because of the way you carry yourself as an independent woman. They think you are okay because of the way you carry yourself as an independent woman. Okay, so they think you don't need anything. They are not looking out for what they can give to you. No, that's not correct. That's not correct. Okay, it doesn't matter how much your woman appears independent. She's earning. She doesn't have everything she needs. Absolutely, she doesn't have everything she needs. There are still so many things that she needs, and you can be a blessing in this regard. Yeah. All right. So the floor is open. Let me see if there are questions in the house. Are there questions? Yeah. The floor is open for your questions. Yeah. Or are there no questions?
Good evening, sir.
Yes. Good evening.
Yes. Thank you for your time. It's Paul. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, Paul. Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So my wife and I, we've been listening carefully to your messages, and we could relate practically to everything you have discussed so far tonight, and we truly appreciate that. But there's something I also want to ask. When you talked about how much you gifted your wife, who was your fiancée then, I just want to know if it is also possible for the lady to reciprocate. Did she reciprocate during during your courtship period, in gifting and all of that, if she had that power? Or is it? And also I want to make it I want you to explain if it is something that is supposed to be the general approach to giving. Is it supposed to be for the man only, or vice versa, as the case may be,
Okay,
during
thank you for
courtship?
your
Yes.
question. No, 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 no.
Mm.
It's not supposed to be a one-way traffic. She reciprocated within her capacity, right? Yeah, she did. Reciprocated within her capacity. And there was a time she went to design a sweatshirt and gave me one. She did one for herself. Wrote lover extraordinaire on my own. And wrote totally submitted to her own on our own. And we even used that sweatshirt to snap a picture. I'm going to share the picture with you tonight. So she did that. From time to time, she also gifted me within her capacity. So it's supposed to be it's supposed to be uh it's supposed to be reciprocal. It's supposed to be reciprocal. Yeah. It's not a one-way thing. If you are just receiving love, receiving love, receiving love, receiving gifts, and you never thought about even even when your partner was doing their birthday, you didn't even think about buying them a gift to doing something for them, then it's gonna get boring at some point. So it's supposed to be reciprocal. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Let me see. You have the floor.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. My question is just like in the aspect, let me say this domestic work and also gifting. Is it that even when you think you're doing something for a particular person and the person is not reciprocating and you like you talked about it. Let me say maybe you talked about it in an angry manner, let me put it that way. The second, I mean, say maybe the person keeps repeating that same thing, I just have to voice out, which you resolved and just like, okay, like I'm not asking the question that is it good to just say, let it be, like do your will, or like, is it like, let me just say, like, not bother talking about it again, like, okay, maybe when you think it is right to do the right thing, then you do it. Like, don't let me even bother talking about it again. Because you have some people that will feel like you are feeling entitled to you asking about a particular thing, or you are trying to say that you want to get back what you are doing to them. That's why you're actually talking about a particular thing, both in domestic work and gifting. Let me put it that way, like reciprocating something back. Some people feel it is entitled, like, why will you say I should do it because you are doing it for me, right? Maybe you should stop doing it if you know that you keep complaining that I'm not reciprocating. That's my question, sir.
Okay. Sorry, can you recount? Can you come again? I had the latter part. I just want to be sure I didn't miss anything out. That if you are requesting from your partner that, for example, they should give you a gift, because you give them a gift during their own time, that it will be like you want to get back your gift. Is that the question? Or hello, Yemisi?
Hello, sir. My network is bad, but I'm back again, sir.
Yeah, I said your question. Are you saying that what you're saying is that if you ask your partner for a gift after they are giving you a gift, that they will accuse you of wanting to get back your gift? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's what I'm trying to say, sir. Let me just give instance.
Yeah.
Possibly maybe you're a gifting
Yeah.
person. You give your partner things. And now, like, there's some areas you might not be a gifting person, but you can actually copy some attitude from your partner by saying, oh, this person has cultivated this habit and they have good. Like, I can also replicate or doing the same thing. But we have some people that maybe they don't reason to that line, or they think that it's not necessary. Something like, they might not see it as a big deal. Let me put it that way. But you're not putting to this person to say, oh, out of my love language, this is what I like, or this is what I like you doing for me, stuff like that. And the person is seeing as if you are talking about it because you do it. I don't know, maybe you get my question. Like, you are talking about it like, I want this thing for me because you are doing it for the person. Maybe the person now having the thinking of, maybe because you are doing it for you want me to do it back for you. That's why you are complaining about what you want from me. I don't know, maybe my question is clear.
Okay. All right, I understand. I understand the point that if receiving gift is one of the ways you receive love, and you communicate that to your partner, and then your partner then turns around to say, oh, is it because you give me gifts that you want me to also give you gifts? And that partner is not doing well. It's not doing well. If your partner has genuinely communicated to you that their love language is one of their love languages is receiving gifts, accept it. Don't argue about it. Accept it and work on it. Accept it and work on it. So that would be my answer to that. So if like we said, love people the way they want to be loved, not the way you think they should be loved. Love them the way they want to be loved and not necessarily from your own perspective. That's the way to achieve marital satisfaction. That's the way they will get fulfilled. Don't argue about it. If they say that is their love language, just reconcile yourself with it. And well, if it's their own love language, they are likely to also want to love you from that same lens. So somebody who loves receiving gifts may presume that their guy or their lady also will love receiving gifts. So they are giving you gifts because that is also the way they love to be loved. So there's no need now turning that into a fight. Just reconcile yourself with that reality and work with it. Just reconcile with that reality and work with it. That'll be my response to that. Yeah. Yeah. Any other question there? Yes, Okpayemi Akindubi.
Evening, Uncle Pen.
Yes, my dear
I want
sister.
to ask, yeah, if you are not receiving gift from your guy at all, either ways, is it a red flag? Like if he or she's not gifting you and they see no reason, even on your special days, they don't give you things, even if it's not the way you receive love, right? But they don't see it as a big deal to give you gifts. Is it a red flag?
It's a blue flag. Anyway, let's be sure. Let's be sure. Why do they see that way? Eh? Every true love gives. Yeah. For God so loves the world that he gave his only begotten son. So when there is true love, giving flows. Are we together now? When there is true love, giving flows. So how can you love someone and you don't give them things? Not even recharge card have you bought. You never walked into a bookshop or and buy them a book. You never walked into a boutique and pick the dress for them. No, love gives. Every true love gives. For God so loved the world that he gave. Are we there now? So he's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. Well, some guys don't know. They just don't know. So that's why I don't want us to immediately say it's a red flag. It may be out of ignorance. So I hope that your man is there or whoever this affects is on the call. So we are saying it very clearly that um, you know we're saying it very clearly that it's not supposed to be every true love gives. So you should be a giver to your partner. It's part of how we know that you truly love. Yeah. On their birthday, on their special days, get a gift, get a card, do a cake, do something, and you will see how happy they will be. So that's my response to that. You know, that's my response to that. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Arel.
Good evening,
Mr.
sir.
Arel.
God bless.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. God bless your ministry and your family. How's the baby doing, sir?
Very well. Doing very well.
All right, sir. I just want to ask a question concerning blaming. Now that we've learned to adopt each other's faults, is there a best time to bring up the the topic. For example, like the time that your wife burnt the food while she was on her phone. I know you didn't say anything. You just felt like, okay, it's fine. But is there another time to bring it up that maybe next time if we are cooking, maybe we should stay close to the kitchen, or we should just let it slide and let everything just go like that?
Well, I would say that it should not be a worry unless and until the error and mistake has become repeated. All right. There are some mistakes that are so common to man that even if you cry now, it could happen again. So, but if you are really worried, then let some time pass wherein you could now review what happened in a light atmosphere. Do you understand? So I mentioned that sometimes correction can come across as criticism when the timing is wrong. Okay. So don't say as it they ought. You want to talk about it as it they ought. As it they ought, your correction will come across as criticism if you think that this is something that needs to change. So let some time pass and look for a light atmosphere. Light atmospheres emerges, light atmospheres emerge from time to time in your relationship with your spouse. So whenever you have that light atmosphere, that light moment, then take advantage of it because both of you are in good mood, you are in good shape of mind. Take advantage of it. So, baby, I had wanted to talk about this. I think we should, the way you say it also matters. I think that there is need to be a little bit more, uh, more careful with the cooking, and there may be a need to reduce distractions so that we will not keep burning um, the soup. As you know that soup is now very expensive in the market, and we need to manage what we have. Do you understand? You're going to be using we instead of saying you. Do you see? You're using we. We need to be more careful. You are including yourself in what you are saying, so that will make it lighter in weight and make it easy for her to receive it. I hope you understand. So that's the way to do it. So don't do it immediately. Let some time pass. Then let there be a light atmosphere. And then the way you say it matters. And then you can pass your correction across in this manner if it is so urgent and if it is so needful that that thing should stop. Then it will be well received. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right. I guess we have exhausted all the questions that we have. Now I want to announce for those that are lagging behind in their reviews and especially their episodes. For those that are lagging behind, I want to give you a waiver that your reviews, you can use voice note reviews. So read the episode, just highlight the episode and do a voice note review and move to the next, because I want you to catch up with the class as soon as possible. So for all of you who are lagging behind, some of you are still, as there's a particular couple that was sending me their review on episode 2, episode 3, as of yesterday, and we are now in episode 41. We are starting episode 41 tonight. That is sex. And the talk on sex. We are entering sex now from tonight. All right. As the number 4 department where the peace of marriage gets troubled. And we want you to be properly prepared to have a successful sexual life. So I'll start sharing the articles on sex tonight, and we can't treat sex in 1 week because it's large. So we may need 2 weeks or 3 weeks to treat the subject of sex. So, but we're going to start tonight, and I'll begin to share the articles with you. So we are already in episode 41. Somebody's in episode 2. That person needs speed. So for people like that, I will give you that waiver. Not everybody, those in that category, you can do your reviews as a voice note so that you can catch up very fast with the class. I hope that works. Those of you who are up to date or you are owing just one class, you can still do your writing, okay? But those who are lagging behind, I want to give them that waiver so that they can catch up with the rest of the class in a good time. So will help us on this. In Jesus' name. All right. On that note, for those of you who live in Ibadan, who live in Lagos and its environ, I want to specially invite you for our sexual purity conference coming up on the 6th to 9th of June. Sexual purity conference. The theme is a compelling conviction. It's not sexual purity talk. It's not just for married people, for single people. Even married people are coming. So don't allow shoulder pad to be on your shoulder because you are about to wed. Married people are coming because the issue of sexual purity is something that affects both singles and married people. That meeting is designed to equip your life with convictions, encounters that will sustain your life of purity, whether before marriage or after marriage. So I really want, if possible, all of you to attend. If you are in Ibadan, if you live in Lagos, you live in Ile-Ife, you live in Osogbo, if you live in anywhere in the southwest, you can come. It's going to be a public holiday. That's 6 to 9 is a Muslim holiday. So yeah, so 6 to 9 is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's going to be a public holiday. I'm inviting all of you to please. That program is going to become like the annual convention of LST disciples worldwide, right? Yeah. So in the coming days, people will be traveling down from abroad to come and attend program. That's what is going to get to by the grace of God. So I want to invite all of you to please be a part of this. And the Lord is going to bless you as you do so. There's accommodation for everyone. There's free feeding and accommodation for everyone who comes. And it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. So on that note, I want to say a big thank you to all of you. Thank you for your time tonight. I hope that you've been blessed. I hope that you've gotten value. If you are owing me reviews, please pay your debts because debt is not good. All right. I want you to use the window of opportunity I've created for you to do voice note reviews to catch up with the rest of the class. You have done yourself a good stuff. Until I come your way again next week, let your head lack no oil. Let your garments always be white. Live joyfully with the fiancé or fiancée of your youth, for that is your best reward for all your labor under the sun. I love you all. Thank you. God bless you. So, Azusha, please drop your review on the group, your review of today's class. Let me get your reviews, your feedbacks. I always like you to do that. Love you all. God bless you. Bye. Bye. Yeah.